Okay, I've been testing the Equinox and the Deus 2 in close proximity to each other with them both in multi-frequency operation. And there's some major issues, right? Major issues. And I've only done two programs here, and the Deus 2 has a lot more issues than the Equinox does. So if you are planning to hunt around others with another multi-frequency machine, prepare for a little bit of struggles, right? And I'll show you here what I've figured out here. This is what I do. I test machines, right? I test machines and figure it out. And working around others, I just turn the machine on there. But this is pretty big, right? This is a humongous issue. And I figured it out that the number 5 frequency offset, just in the fast program, I'll show you here, I'll demonstrate here. The number 5 frequency has a lot of issues. The number 5 offset has a lot of issues. And I'll show you another issue too with the higher frequencies in the mono. And the fast program is running at high frequencies too. And I have the small coil on the Equinox there, and I have the gain at 18. I have the gain at 18. And it's going a little bit crazy right now, but I'll adjust it as I go here, right? I'll adjust it as I go. And I'll show you the result here. Very discerning. Or very concerning. It's concerning me, right? It doesn't really concern me much because I don't hunt around people with the Equinox. But it will concern me if I get around others who have different multi-frequency machines. The Deus 2 is not affected by the Simplex or the Amphibio. Only other multi-frequency machines, just from the testing that I've done here, right? I'm in Goldfield right now. I'll go to the fast program here. Right, and I've done this test with higher conductors and lower conductors. I'll just do a gold ring here, right? And the scanning feature on this, you have 6 different frequency offsets for each frequency if you're in mono. But in the regular programs, just in the normal programs in the FMF operation, you have 6 different offsets. And I'll just swing it over the coil here, right? It's a really jumpy tone. Not doing very good on that target right there, right? Right. It should not be sounding like that. And I'll just show you these. If you slow it down right here, if you look at this star right here is the machine that's being affected. And sometimes it just completely nulls out. This is the Deus 2. This is the Equinox. And the Equinox has a few stars on it, so those stars are where the Equinox is not hitting the target, right? And these are the frequencies, or these are the offsets in the fast program, and this one's in Park 2. So I have it in Park 2 there, I forgot to tell you that. But these numbers here are the offsets for those settings there. And these are the issues that I've found out in the fast program against Park 2. And this is just two different programs here. I haven't done a lot of extensive testing, but these are some major issues with the Deus 2 right here. So what I'll do is I'll go over the frequency offset and put it in -5, or actually I'll go down here to -4, right? So this is silent EMI, right? So you can't tell if the other, see the Equinox is not really affected too much on it. The Deus is a little bit, but all frequency offset this to 5 right here. And I've found a lot of issues with the 5 offset in this program, just in this program. So I'll just go to frequency offset to 5 here, right? And that one's at -4. This one's at 5. I'm in the fast program. Just hitting it there. So I'll try 5 at -1. I'll just try it here. Right, see? I'm getting some EMI on this machine here, but I'll go over here. I'm getting some EMI here. I'll just get a stable tone there. Oh. Go back down here a little bit. Try something different here. Try a smaller piece there. So I was having some big issues with the 3 too. So I'll go to 3, and I'll go to 4 here. I'll change it. I'm just changing the Equinox, right, as I go. See? See this nut? It's not hitting it very good. See that? See that? That's a huge difference, right? See, look at that. See that? See that right there? I'm offset 3 right here. So 3. So 5 down there and 3. See the star right there? The star right there is on the dais, and the 5 right there, I'm not getting any EMI here, right? It's hitting it there, but the dais, right, nothing, right? Now I'll just go down to 4 here. 4, 6 on the Equinox, and 3 on, right? I'm just only getting a little bit of EMI here, right? I'm really close to them, right? But watch this, see what? Right? Not hitting it, right? So I'll go to 7 on the Equinox, and 4, right? Not hitting it, right? It's hitting it a little teeny bit, but it's not hitting it very well. See? Not hitting it. So when you're in close proximity, I'm going to have a long list of here. So I just suggest, you know, if you're hunting around others, and I get different results if I'm around some different EMI too. You know, if you have 2 Deus 2s running together, I don't know what's going to happen with that. So I'm going to be doing some extensive testing on that, especially with 2 Deus 2s. I did this video for you guys just to let you know. And these machines are really close to each other, and this is a small coil. If you get a big coil on there and a big coil on here, you can be 10 feet away, 10 feet near each other, and they will be greatly affected by this silent EMI, you know. Sometimes both detectors are quiet, no EMI, and both detectors do not work. Just because you're running multi-frequencies, a lot is happening in inside these machines here with EMI. But it won't be too long before all these Equinox guys who are swinging these Equinox figure out that the Deus 2 is much deeper, much more stable in salt water, and they're gonna eventually, you know, turn around and go to the Deus 2, right? There's just a reality to this, right? The Deus is the ultimate machine. It's a very good all-around machine, but it is a multi-frequency machine. And I'll show you another thing right here. There's a lot of issues with this detector here, and I'll show you another one here. Hopefully I can find a penny in my pocket here. I always carry pennies with me. But I'll just turn the Deus 2 back on here, and I'll show you some irregularities in the higher frequency mono that I've noticed in the programs, in the multi-frequency programs. it's pretty stable. This penny here is pretty stable. But if you are notching out zinc pennies, just like on the Deus 1, if you're notching out zinc pennies and you change frequencies, if you change frequencies, that penny changes numbers, because the Deus 1 is a non-normalized detector. The Deus 2 is not really it's more of a normalized detector, so you're getting the same numbers on this coin no matter what frequency you're in, except for the higher frequency here, right? The lower frequencies here, I'll go to full tones here so you can get the full aspect of it here, right? Sensitive full tones. I'll turn it up here. Actually, what I'll have to do is I'll have to go into the Deus Mono and just change a couple things here. I'll just change them real quick here. All right, full tones, and then I'll go to minus 6.4 discrimination. I always like, I don't know why, I just like minus 6.4 discrimination. So in full tones here, mono frequency, and I will go to the frequency, right? So the numbers here, 86, that's some 4.4 kilohertz. Go to 7.5, 86, 13 kilohertz, 86, 17, 86, 25, 87, 32 kilohertz, 88, 40 kilohertz. So this higher frequency range has a few issues with it, right? Now I'll go all the way down to 36.6 kilohertz. This is the zinc penny. 88, and I'll go up to 37 kilohertz. Listen. 88, 84. So if you are notching zinc pennies out, or if you want to learn that zinc penny tone and you scan frequencies in this mono frequency program, those tones change for this penny right here. Those numbers change to for this program. Watch. I'll go all the way down and this. I'll tell you the numbers. 89, 88, 84, 83, 90, and 40 kilohertz. 41 kilohertz, 93, 44, 86, 45 kilohertz, the highest frequency right here. It changes tones, right? I've noticed that all my targets here, I'll even swing this gold ring here. It's like muffled. Now I'll go down one frequency, one offset here. And I'm going down on the frequency. I'm going down on the offset here. I just went through all that frequency range right there, the higher frequency. So, you know, there's going to be issues with every machine, right? And hopefully we can figure out these anomalies or these issues with the higher frequencies, right? It doesn't affect it too much when you're running in the FMF. When you scan the frequency, your numbers don't change and your tones don't change if you're in full tones. But with that EMI issue, that is a humongous issue if you're hunting around others who have multi-frequency machines. What I'm more interested in is the Deus, if two Deus 2s have this same issue, right? The people who are swinging around the Equinox right now probably aren't going to be swinging the Equinox for too much longer. They're going to go to the Deus 2, right? The Equinox is just not good build quality. You end up dumping a lot of money into Equinoxes because they just, the build quality is just horrible, right? Lots of broken coils, lots of wobbly broken shafts, lots of leaking issues, lots of arm cuffs broken. With the Deus 1, I've had the Deus 1 in some extremely hard conditions, and I swing super fast, and I throw this detector around a lot. Never had anything break on the Deus 1. The Deus 2 came with a loose screw, so I tightened them up. I always tighten my screws up, but I eventually lost that screw in there, but I will be getting another screw for that bottom down there. That's another issue right out of the box. The Deus 2 has those loose screws, so I'm going to be putting some Loctite on that here really soon when I get those screws for it. So new machines come out on the market and they're going to be multi-frequency, and we're going to have some serious issues with these machines not performing. I mean, that's a pretty big issue. I want to know if I'm skipping targets up because somebody else is running multi-frequencies near me, right? This newer technology, man, a lot of stuff is happening in these machines that we can't control. And I don't want to be missing on targets like that. And I did another test with the beach program. I'll do a couple more tests in the beach program. It's kind of a waste of my time to test the Equinox against the Deus 2, because the Deus 2 smokes the Equinox, right? In every situation that I have tested it in, right? Even the Deus 1 smokes the Deus 2 in iron, right? In depth, the Deus 1, it's not really that great, especially on the higher conductive coins. But the lower conductive coins, both the Equinox and the Deus do pretty good. But the Deus 2 is a much more powerful machine, and I really have to dial it back quite a bit because it's so powerful. The EMI, I've figured out ways to get through the EMI. With the Equinox, it's shut me down quite a few times. Many times I've been shut down by EMI, especially with the bigger coil on there. This is the small coil there, right? I like using the smaller coils because you can push the detector a little bit more, but with this 9-inch coil on the Equinox, or on the Deus 2, it goes deep enough for me, deep enough for what I'm hunting for, right? I'm hunting for the gold jewelry, right? My area, a lot of jewelry just doesn't go deep because I hunt in really dense clay. If you're in the beach, this Deus 2 is by far deeper than any other machine I've ever seen, ever, right? Very stable in the saltwater sand. And if you do get a Deus 2 and you want to hunt in the sand, it'll be really easy to pick those targets out. Super